Okay, first off, let me introduce myself. My name is Max Fuller, aka Max Kilo Neal, aka Humphrey Frogart, aka Froby Bryant, aka a million other things. It's nice to meet you. Although it feels like I kind of already know you. Is that a weird thing for fans? I feel like I'd imagine that
Oh.
most people come up to you and feel like they already know you.
No, I think that's the task in terms of the connection we have with the audience. And a lot of times I heard this earlier today, people think, oh, you're a big part of our life. And they don't realize from a talent or a wrestler or a roster perspective, the fans are a big part of our life. It's an equal and very mutual thing. But when you say it, it almost sounds like a shill, like a hey, please buy tickets. Hey, please buy my merch. No, like
Right.
the job doesn't, I mean, the job does not exist without the music that is on the background. And the background music to a story that's being told in the ring is an audience full of unbelievably fun fans. So no, it's you do know me. And in my case, I have the incredible honor and slash burden of I don't have a lot of AKAs. You have all these AKAs. I am I am very much who I am on screen is who I am. So they do know me.
And that's why we love you, Cody, because you feel so personable. You feel like someone, even though you're the face of the WWE, you feel like someone we could reach out and that we could touch. Did you ever consider going by another name? Obviously, Stardust. Don't hate me for bringing that up. But like, did you ever consider going by another name before you got into the ring?
You know, there was this kind of argument. Al Snow trained me, and gosh, I feel like 99.9% of Al's training was incredibly helpful. But one thing he did say that I just firmly disagreed with was he had mentioned maybe going by something different and letting that story come to life naturally versus just slapping yourself with the Rhodes name. And we compromised where I went by Runnels instead of Rhodes, but it was still quite obvious and quite clear, and we even leaned into it. I was just such a big fan of my father and my brother that I really couldn't see myself doing anything else. Like, for example, going to school when I was, I think third or fourth grade, my dad told me, he said, hey, you don't have to tell people that your dad's a pro wrestler. You can tell them I think he said something funny, an airplane salesman was one of them. Like, and and I knew he was serious, but I also I could never do that. No, man, you're a pro wrestler. That's what you are, and I'm proud of that. And if they have an adverse reaction, you learn a lot as a kid from seeing people's odd reaction to what your father or your mother does. And in my case, I just couldn't go by any other name. I couldn't see it. Too proud.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Is it like, did you look at it almost like a mantle, kind of like Batman? Like you had to live up to it. Eventually, does it add more pressure having that Rhodes name at the in your ring name?
My friend, literally Batman is how I looked at my dad. And I thought like if you look at all the Robins, your Tim, your Damians, of course your Dicks, like you look at all the Robins and who's going to fill the role, and then they end up filling their role best, you know. I always looked at it that way, and to have that lineage to put the pressure on you. That's the thing. Take the name, puts the pressure on you. Now it's up to you. You know, hey, are you going to be a tribute act? Hey, are you going to be 1/10 of as influential as somebody the magnitude of Dusty Rhodes was? That's good pressure to have,
Right.
and still have it to this day. Still live with it.
I wish we had more time. I'd want to pick your brain about comic books because I see that you're a comic book guy naming off all those Robins, man. That was before I got into radio. That was my first dream. I wanted to.
I'm a Damian guy. I think he's one of
Oh
the
yeah,
better original characters in a long time.
I love Damian too. I'm a Tim
I
guy.
also love Damian because I was adversely different from my father. I was not trained by the League of Shadows and
Right.
murdering people, but I was adversely different. And to be able to take his thing and honor it, but in my own way, everything to me.
That's awesome. I never saw the Damian Cody connection, but now I see it. Maybe we'll get you in the DC universe someday.
Oh man, that'd be great.
That would be awesome, wouldn't it? I mean, you kind of have flirted around with Hollywood and doing
Yeah.
acting thing. If there was a movie role that already exists that you could recast as
Oh
yourself,
gosh.
what role do you think that you would have knocked it out of the park? Like, for example, like Forrest Gump starring Cody Rhodes. Like
I don't think I
what
could. I don't think I could do anything that Tom did by any means, but I think two roles that I could have absolutely nailed were I could have nailed Captain Kirk and I could have
Oh yeah,
nailed from the comic book side of book. I mean, I'm shocked this didn't happen for me. Booster Gold is right there.
it's right
Like
there.
I don't know why I'm not right now talking to somebody on the phone about Booster Gold, but yeah. No, but I'm very impressed with those who can. Like I'm blown away with what Dave did in the space. Of course, my friend or not my friend, The Rock has done in the space, and then what John's done with Peacemaker is really, really special.
I think you could do something special too. Hopefully, we see you in Hollywood soon. Speaking of The Rock, I just tried his new shampoo. I don't know what he knows about hair, because since he's bald and he's been bald for a decade, but I think the fro looks pretty nice, don't you think, Cody?
I can say your hair looks great. I have a friend who maybe not a friend because as a rib, he sends me all of Rock's products. Uh, and there's a lot. I didn't know it
So
was
many.
such a deep profile. Papatui,
Yeah.
Zoa, Terramana. These products, if I was like in desperate need of them, I still have an issue. I still have somewhat of an issue just because of the personal situation that developed with him and I. But I mean, your hair looks great. I've heard nothing but good things about all of them. I've seen my wife sipping on some Terramana from time to time. So, hey, he's on to something.
Now, this is probably the last question that we got time for. You and The Rock, you had a real instant connection in the ring, and I think we've kind of been seeing that blossom on your show, SmackDown, with guys like Andrade and Carmelo. They're going for what, part 6 now, I think, on Friday, and a lot of people are calling them wrestling soulmates. If you had to pick someone purely in the ring, who is your wrestling soulmate? Someone that it's almost impossible for you
Hmm.
to have a bad match with.
Gosh, I don't know. I'm almost scared to state a wrestling soulmate because I don't want to. I think there's still matches to be had.
Right?
Maybe I haven't found my wrestling soulmate, but my tag team partner at Bad Blood always, admittedly, I feel like brings something different out of me. And whether he admits it or not, I would hope that I do the same. Because that might be the one. But the good thing is there's quite some time left on the contract for me to find a true wrestling soulmate if I haven't already.
And I know we're all excited to see you keep doing your thing, Cody. Thanks for joining me today, man. I really appreciate it, brother.
Thanks, my friend.
Peace.
Peace.